Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about depression, and it's an illusion, and what it looked like for me in my life. And yeah, hello, I'm Demi. I eat, sleep, and breathe all things personal development. Yeah, so let's get into it. So, the reason why I say depression is an illusion, it's not that you're not to, what I'm not saying is not to feel your feelings. I'm saying you can feel your feelings and choose to also have fun in your life and not make it your personality and not make it your identity. So basically, when first off, let me just tell you guys how most of the times that I was depressed, I didn't even know it was depression. My therapist, like, I think I did, they have like little summaries and stuff, and like basically looking at where I started when I first came in doing therapy, and then, just the progress of where I was at the time. And I was like, wait, I was depressed when I first came and saw you. And I guess, yeah, it wasn't a discussion between me and my therapist, which I thought was actually kind of cool because, like, I feel like evaluating someone and just slapping a label on them is very, I don't know. I just like the way that my therapist handled the entire situation because some I over identifying with labels is also part of the problem. And this is why I say it is very important that you pick a great therapist, because I didn't even know that was something that you should look for in a therapist until now. And so yeah, so depression is very subtle, and a lot of things can stack up on top of each other. So in what I'm about to talk to you guys about is the reason why a lot of people are one way or another is because they're not choosing what's in the middle. Like, you have a choice to not choose neither. You can say yes, or you can say no, or you can say neither. And the people who say neither are a lot more happier in life because they're not identifying with what other people or groups of people want you to identify with. And let me explain that a little bit further. So, I have a chart, but I don't think we're really ready for that yet. But say there's a red side, and there's a blue side. You can associate it with whatever you want to associate it with, but there's a red side and then there's a blue side, right? But there's also neither, and neither is red and blue, and that is purple, and that is something that you identify with you. You don't identify with either side. You just identify with what you are as a person. And that shattered the illusion of depression for me. And I really do feel like you do have to have a certain level of awareness of these things and awareness of mental health if you're the type of person, like, for instance, I am the type of person that I intellectualize everything. I can talk about my feelings. I can talk about why my feelings are the way they are. I can tell you about the day that led up to these feelings and what happened and how, you know, different things. But whenever somebody would ask me, well, how do you feel? That's when I'm stuck. I'm like, feel? Huh? What do you mean, feel? So, yeah. I didn't know that much about emotions. And what I mean, like, it's not saying that, well, yeah, I just simply did not know a lot about emotions at all. Like, my social emotional awareness, it was trash. The only emotions I knew was sad, mad, happy, surprised, maybe. But that's it. now, now I have a range of emotions. There's like excited, there's surprised, there's confused, there's scared. And when I say not knowing them, I'm not saying name them out because that was a part of my problem too. No, it was what I was feeling inside of my body. And when you have a certain level of awareness of your feelings and your body, for me, it was easier for me to catch it because I would be like, okay, I'm not feeling good and I have a system. And I told you guys before in a couple videos back, feel good now and my feel good now list. Because it keeps you out of the depression. Having a feel good now list and having the awareness, I have the awareness to remember to use my feel good now list. So if that is hard for you, I know for me, I would just put it everywhere, but once you've created a habit and once it's easier for you to do, you don't have to put it all everywhere. But if that works for you, just put it everywhere. So if you have a moment, it'll literally be sitting there right in your face and you can be able to snap out of it. Whether it's like a silly song, a movie that makes you happy, like nothing like scary. Don't watch scary movies when you're feeling sad. Like, no, that's not that is lower than where you're trying to go. So doing that is only going to keep you there or maybe even deeper. I don't know. But yeah, so watching something funny, laughing. There's so many different things. Choose the things that works for me, and I knew that would make me happy. So you could definitely do the same for you. Yeah, because that is just what worked for me. And now, I'm not saying that you're never going to feel depressed. You can have moments that you are sad. So, for instance, say something happens throughout your day, whatever it is, and now you're feeling sad. Okay, we can feel sad, we can cry. We don't have to automatically journal if we don't want to, but you can cry, you can have your moment, wipe your tears, all of that. And then guess what we're going to do? We're going to go on about our day because we are not identifying with those emotions because that was just a moment. Right? So it's important. And I am not speaking on the extremes of things. If you want to speak about extremes, go to a therapist. This is not what my page is for. If you want to talk about extremes, like losing people that are close to you, I'm leaving that for the therapist, okay? So, yeah. So if you're the person that likes to do personal development on your own, it could be for you, but let me tell you more about what works for me. So with that being said, the list. So we have happiness on one side, and then we have depression on one side, and they are opposites, right? So if we have happiness is when, we know what's gonna happen in our day, right? Because when most people are depressed, it's like the unknown, right? So that's the opposite of depression. Happiness, known things, your routine. Depression, break of routine, breaking routine, something that made you upset. And then in the middle, we have contentment. And what contentment felt like to me was I lost my job abruptly. And I'm not gonna lie, it took me a really, really long time to get back to happiness because it was something that it's never really happened to me before. So I will say it kind of was like a trauma response. So it took me about a month or two to bounce back, which is way too long compared to what I would do now. Now I'm happy for that experience though, simply because it it made me realize how I could create a mental cage in my mind, aka depression, like for focusing on the things that you would rather not want versus the things that you want in life, if that makes sense. So, what contentment feels like is, when you lose something, like a job or something, you can think of contentment. Oh, okay, well, that happened, so what's next? Right? Um, yeah, it's more of like okay, how can I make this situation better? Okay, what's the next job? Just focusing on moving forward and not over identifying with, oh my gosh, I lost my job, making your entire personality and like not going anywhere, thinking the world is just, I don't know. So yeah. So on the happiness side, I have the sun, and then on the depression side, I have the moon. Because the sun, you know, it's more in the day, and then you have the moon that's at night, and at night you can't really see things. It's kind of like unknown, mysterious. And then in the middle I have the planet. Because you're not identifying with the thing, you're looking at it bigger picture. The planet. Not just the sun and the moon, the planet. Right? That's actually really good actually. But so yeah, happy versus sad. And in the middle, it's indifference. So after you cry, after you process your emotions, one thing I've noticed for me is don't stay in it too long. Like the quicker you're able to just cry it all out, like whatever you got to do, just cry it all out. That's what I did. I cry it all out. I make sure I cry it all out, like all of it. Because after that I just feel like indifferent. Like I feel better. Yeah. And then good versus bad. So good versus bad in the middle for me, I just put review because somebody could do something and it's under review. Right? It's under review. So you're looking through this lens and you're like, okay, do we want to accept this into my life? Yes or no? So say if somebody is stealing, but what if they're stealing for their family because they don't have no money, right? So that has a different meaning versus somebody stealing from like someone on the street with a loaded gun, right? It has a different meaning to it. So again, review. I don't really identify with like good or bad. It's just like, okay, that happened. Is this what I'm willing to accept in my reality as good or bad? Or is that just something that someone had to do? And I'm not saying that like people that do the things are like good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying like review things before you make it a belief for yourself. That's what I did. So you don't have to do it. You can let it go. So, yeah, I had to learn how to let go of taking sides. That is what helped me with my depression, surprisingly. Like, yeah, I could process my emotions, but I don't have to be sad and stay sad. I could go out with my friends and go and have fun in the same day. I don't have to take weeks and like punish myself. That is something that I feel is very, very important because, yeah, don't punish yourself. And if you find yourself doing that, you probably need to go to therapy. That's what I tell everybody. Just try it. I don't know. But these are the things that worked for me and depression. And you know, there's different levels, there's a spectrum. So, all in all, go to therapy, go see a therapist, go see a professional for that type of thing. But yeah, but thank you to all of my lovely subscribers. Yeah. And thank you for liking and supporting my videos. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. If you guys haven't checked out my snail mail, go check that out. It's in my community tab and it's also in my bio. All right, so moving on. There is a place for sadness. Have those moments, don't identify with them. So what I mean by is what I said earlier about me losing my job. So don't identify with, oh, my life is over. Oh, I lost my job. Oh, I'm going to lose my house. I'm going to do all the thinking, going through that negative loop. Like, no. I had to learn how to catch myself. And my therapist is the one that helped me catch yourself. So sometimes you can't really do this on your own. You have to invest in yourself. So definitely watch my last video about you are your best investment, because that is what helped me realize all of these different things. Yeah. So these are just some examples that I decided to write down with you guys. So you can mourn the loss, cry in the moment when it's happening. You can feel it in your body so you can process it. This is you letting it go. Okay? I'm not saying that you have to let it go the same day. It's a process, but again, therapy, very important. If you don't resonate with that, then you probably won't resonate with the rest of my videos, and that's okay. But yeah, you can do that and also go and have fun with your friends. Like, yeah, there's gonna be times where you mourn about the loss and you think about the loss, but that's just your brain trying to sort itself out. So you just kind of let it sort itself out and still go and have fun and enjoy your life. Don't let your brain fool you. That is the main thing that don't let your brain fool you. So whenever I find myself like scrolling and just like mindless scrolling, that was something that I did before that. Yeah, I would just like kind of go to work, come home, get settled, whatever, scroll, take a shower, scroll some more, and then go to sleep. That is not healthy. That's why I was depressed. Because I wasn't letting my brain process anything. I was just keeping my brain on. Like, you gotta give your brain a break to process things and be centered and focused on processing the day. And that's when my walking 30 minutes plus a day, that's when that comes in, because it really does help me sort out my thoughts. Or I don't know, if you do puzzles, anything where you just sit and you're doing something, or you can walk or whatever it is. It's important that you keep those things and don't let them go, because they are so important, especially in the world of this, the world of technology. You can take breaks from it. Yeah, taking breaks is important because it keeps the human in you. And it keeps you happy. I know when I spend prolonged time on it, definitely irritated. Especially when you're just waking up. I would say don't try to. I definitely figured out a way to stop scrolling in the morning and stuff like that. Like I created an entire morning routine. It could be short, it could be long. Um, or you can like play a song on your phone or something like that. But you need something that's gonna bring your energy up when you first get up in the morning, because that is how your day is gonna go. Like how you start your day is how your day is gonna go. The things you speak out of your mouth, that is how your day is gonna go. So having that awareness and having the tools to do so can help you not be so depressed in life. So create you a list of things that you like to do and things that you can do, like when you're feeling sad, that you can kind of trick your brain into being back happy again. That's what I do. I have a feel good now playlist. I have so many other things. I have a whole video for that though. But yeah. Here's another example. I can date and keep my heart open when it doesn't work out with someone else. Okay, who's next? I feel like with that example though, when you give too much access to yourself, that's how you lose yourself, because you're not managing your energy properly. Um, that can also lead to depression too, because if somebody's sucking the life out of you and you're allowing that, that's the thing. Radical responsibility for yourself is important, for yourself and for your energy and who you're entertaining, because yeah, social media, same thing. They're taking energy. Like wherever your energy is, those are your energy leaks. So pay attention to where your focus is, because that is where your energy is leaking. That's what works for me. Because when I realized that I was on social media too much, or yeah, that was pretty much like one of the main things. And then I found myself like ruminating over and over and over. And so I found like different videos, hypnotherapy, and a whole bunch of other stuff that worked for me. Um, that helped me not do that and helped me to just observe my thoughts and not identify with them. Like I am not that crazy thought that said, "Oh, she's talking too much," in my brain. Like, no. What is the purpose? The purpose, you're just trying to make sense of what's in front of you. That's it. It's not you. Um, yeah, you are not your thoughts. I can't say that enough. But yeah, another silly one is I can lose Uno and try again next time. You don't have to throw away the whole table. You can be like, oh man, that sucked. So you can feel it a little bit, but you don't have to go like off on the deep end like that. No. Go see a therapist. Stuff like that. It's not healthy, and it's not healthy for your heart, your blood pressure, stuff like that. Anytime that like you're elevated and you have to be all the way up here, like that is not. It's not healthy at all. So yeah, talking about depression has actually been a breeze, I feel. Because it's just one of those polarizing things for me, because I didn't realize it was going on. It's one of those things, it's like, how did we get here? But it's the little bitty things in your day and what you're identifying with throughout your day. So say if you get cut off on the road and you're going to school or something, and then you go and tell someone about that. No, you were just supposed to be like, oh, that person's having a bad day. Okay. God bless them. Or just like ignore whatever happened, because that anger of the other person, that's them. You're you. You cannot let someone on the outside affect you on the inside. And that's an awareness thing. If you can't see that, then yeah, therapy. Because your level of awareness is just a little below the surface. And I mean that. Like, awareness is key. Because if you can't even see, and it's okay if that's where you are, but if you can't even see that someone cutting you off in traffic has nothing to do with you, it wouldn't make you mad unless you identified with that to make you sad. The person didn't even touch you and it made you sad. Like, imagine how powerful that is to carry all that enough to tell someone else about it and tell them how it just ruined your day. Like, no, we have to stop doing that. But I understand, depression is a drug because a lot of people identify with a lot of things and they normalize it. And so that's why I'm speaking out about it, because it affected my life for a really long time and I didn't even see it. And that's why I'm sharing it, because maybe you didn't realize it, or maybe, someone out there is going through something similar and you didn't know that this is what it was going on in the first place. So yeah, personal responsibility, things of that nature, it is very, very important, because realizing that you don't have to be sad and you can create a list of things to do so you are not sad. Once you master that, game changer. Like, I'll never forget, I was on the phone with someone and they were just like, and we were like getting in the get to know you phase or whatever, and they were like, are you, drinking? Did you drink anything? Did you take anything? Like, are you on any type of drugs or anything? Like, they just thought I was on drugs because of how naturally happy and relaxed that I was. And I took that as a compliment. And I feel like that is one of the, and if you realize that someone else completely different could have took that and would have been like, oh my gosh, you were terrible and blah 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 blah, and like, what do you mean? There's another reality out there where someone could react like that, but because I've put in systems in place for myself, it is it's very hard and painful now to even be sad or depressed or to allow someone to make me angry. It is really hard, because I've practiced on focusing on the positive. Like, if something negative happens, okay, positive. So if, I don't know, like, my whole ceiling could fall in and I could be like, okay, positive. How can I get out of this situation? How can this be a solution? How can, I don't know. I could just be like, where do I need to move to next? Maybe there's a blessing from this. I don't know. Maybe I'll get half of my rent. I don't know. Anything could happen. Like, I would just instantly talk to my landlord and be like, hey, this happened. I would like a discount on my rent because this is absolutely unacceptable. Sends pictures. Boom. And 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to reduce my rent because I asked. Now, if there is someone else who has a situation that happens like that, oh my gosh, it ruins their whole day, and they're just like, oh my gosh, these apartments are da-da-da, and just like negative, 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 and they call all their people, and they spread all the negativity, and they're spreading and spreading and spreading, and they create this big old bubble of depression around themselves because they decided to spread negativity. Now, on my end of the spectrum, if I call my landlords and I ask for a discount, they give me the discount. Now I'm calling my mom like, Mom, guess what? This happened, but I got a discount on my rent. Isn't God great? Isn't life great? That is such a blessing. Like, just spreading the good news. Like, what? What? It doesn't matter. So, like, it has been a thing in my life where like no matter what is happening, like it's impossible for me to lose or to feel like a loser. Like, yeah, I lost, but how else can I win? Like, it's another, like, just, and I remember people used to say that, but I didn't understand it. And I just did a lot of inner work and just processed. I don't even remember how or why, how I even got here. I just know that, no, I did purchase I purchased some coaching. I did. It was like a coaching group that I was in for about a month, and they gave me like some good tips, and it was like manifesting tips. But I realized how I could just, I don't know, I just like went all in on it for a month, and it just became a part of my life. So yeah, I will say, I guess the difference between me and most people would definitely be that I invest a lot into my personal development, and your return on investment in that alone, because people be like, oh, it costs this, it costs this, it costs this. I spend most of my money on personal development. Not cars, clothes, shoes. I spend most of my money on personal development. I love it that much because that is just who I am. This is something that I love. I can't help it. If I see there's somewhere that I'm lacking, I'm like, okay, how can I buy that? Let's see what's inside of there. Like, I don't know. It's something about like just learning something new. I'm like, ooh, let's see. Ooh, let's see what I can learn from here. Like, I don't know. Just being open to the unknown. And then and the thing is, I kind of like go and I pick the things that I need. I don't identify with the whole entire thing and make it my entire life and stay there like forever. Unless it's like a super big, valuable container that I'm like highly benefiting from and have a very high return on investment, great friends and system. It depends. Um, but if it's like a small little group container where we're just learning little things about certain things, like I'm not gonna stay there that long. And I've noticed that like if there is a certain energy there and it's not like, I can just feel it. I can feel when I'm done with a certain container. And when a certain container is like therapy and stuff, like I'm not even gonna lie, I am at a point where I feel like I could do therapy like once or twice like a year unless something like major happens. But then again, I'm comfortable enough now that I could just do coaching through it. But again, like the investment is real. But yeah, if you want to learn how to not be depressed, personal development, that's what works for me. Investing in personal development, starting with therapy, get you a therapist that knows different things other than talk therapy, because it's not getting to the root of the issue. I mean, it's cool to start if you don't know anything, like yeah, start that, but definitely you don't want to get stuck there unless you want to. I mean, that's fine too, but it's a certain thing that comes with that. But yeah, this was a nice little chill little video, so I will catch y'all in the next one. Yep. Bye.